Every business has an ecosystem. We think that we are individual businesses sometimes. Sometimes we get enough of an understanding of what we do in business to think that we are within an industry, but we don't understand the shared ecosystem. And in 2026 and beyond, only the people who understand the ecosystem are going to make it. That there are connected businesses that are absolutely, they should be your partner. They should bring you referrals. You should bring things to them. You should work together. And, very few small businesses are going to stand alone. There's so much happening in the economy where people have to come together, where resources have to be shared. Advertising needs to be shared. Marketing needs to be shared. Being able to spread the word, shared. Being able to sell together, shared. Being able to bring services in new and exciting ways where people wouldn't expect those diverse things to be together needs to be shared, because anybody can go to a restaurant. Anybody can go and get their hair done. But you'd be surprised at what you could do if you dared to bring those things together.
I love that.
That's beautiful. Well,
That's
it
really good.
sounds like when I think about your name, it always comes up that one word, which is community. What does that specific word mean to you specifically?
So common unity is about setting aside the differences to be able to come together for a purpose. Now, in the business community, sometimes we need to set politics aside and just figure out how to secure the bag. Yeah, I'm talking to some of you out there. If you would take care of needs in the community with a business solution, you'll have plenty of money. But again, it's a thing that nobody really does alone. And as we're moving forward as a society, that nobody can do alone. And so having connectors that bring us together, sometimes you have to have someone who sees the possibility before you see it. And I'm that person, because I have done collaborations that are so huge and so outrageous with things you would never think would go together. I did an all Pikes Peak reads for the library district that literally strung together on a theme around the Margaret Atwood book, The Year of the Flood. And we did 100 events in 8 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
wild.
It was the biggest all Pikes Peak read that they'd ever had. And it was also the largest participation with, we had over 10,000 readers show up for that one.
That's
and
amazing.
I think it's a record that hasn't been broken yet. So, you just have to see the possibility of getting along long enough. That's why you have to set aside the political vitriol to get along long enough to see the possibilities where everybody can win. I don't believe win-win. I believe everyone can win.
Love it. All right. So what are the possibilities that you see that no one else sees for Colorado Springs that you're so excited about?
Ooh.
I believe that we have ways that we haven't explored yet of bringing together our cultural centers. And so I think of our cultural centers in this way. I see us as having, of course, city government. I see us as politics. I see media. I see business.
Mhm.
I see family services. I see education. As kind of these cultural centers that come together, along with arts and entertainments and just kind of business spheres. I see those melding and doing collaborations that we haven't done before and getting bigger and bigger. This is what can make us even more of a tourist and entertainment mecca than we are. We need everyone to see, every restaurant to see. We need retail stores to begin to see themselves as an experience that somebody can have with their family, because if they see that for themselves, they can have it. And then they go from just being, oh, here's my store, to here's my experience. People come from Pueblo to see you. People come from Denver. Maybe people come from out of state to experience that thing that you offer while they're on vacation in Colorado. We hold our people here longer. We hold our visitors here longer, and we make our economy better, which is what we absolutely need in this state right now.
Can I give an example of that? So I took my family and a bunch of other families to the ice castles in Cripple Creek.
Oh, yes.
Right. And I'm from a little town in southern Colorado, Westcliff, and Westcliff struggles with economy. I mean, they don't have a ski hill, they don't have the river, and they have a lot of division. And I'm always like, guys, all it takes is a creative thing to bring people in. You go up to Cripple Creek, somebody decided to spray a bunch of water around some frameworks and build these ice castles in the middle of nowhere,
That
right?
part.
There was nothing but an idea, and there were like hundreds of people paying $50 or $35
Mhm.
per
Oh, yeah.
person
Wait, that drove up.
that drove up there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is all you needed was an idea to bring
Right.
somebody during a non-peak season
Mhm.
and create an experience where you take a bunch of pictures, you drink some apple cider.
Mhm.
And that's the kind I agree with you. It's this collaborative, like, hey, we have this thing and come see it and take all these pictures and your family's going to love it. And the kids did. They loved it.
Did you see the troll, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
did you
love the
come-
troll up in Victor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was completely worth the walk and everything to get
Yes.
to it.
100%.
But that's the sort of thing that we're talking about. I used to do marketing for the Old Colorado City Associates, and this is probably a decade ago. And we did the most wild scavenger hunt you've ever seen,
Cool.
which literally had people in and out of retail places, restaurants, just kind of everything. Again, thinking of those cultural centers and ways to bring them together, to make them a network
Mhm.
where everyone who steps into the network can have experiences that they can enjoy. And family experiences are the most precious one. Think about it. You bring your kids
For sure.
to whatever it is. I used to love the What If Festival. Do you remember it?
Mhm.
With
I think that was before Christmas.
Imagination
Yeah, that was
Celebration.
Yep.
And, my grandchildren who are adults today are like, do you remember when we used to do blah, blah, blah? Those sorts of things. Art equals money. We've known that in Colorado Springs a long time. We knew that when Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak region was kind of launched. We knew that. We had reports on it. We thought about it. We have an arts corridor in downtown Colorado Springs that's been designated by the state of Colorado, and we should be receiving money, and money, but sometimes we don't ask because we just haven't seen it yet,
Mhm.
So I believe we have people who are ready to bring those various visions together in ways that will be exciting to be able to build in this city.
All right, I got a question.
Go for it,
And
dude.
we've talked about this.
Mhm.
How would you define the identity of Colorado Springs today and where we're going? Like if somebody wasn't from here and they said, all right, tell me what Colorado Springs is.
Mm. I know that we're supposed to be the Olympic city, but I don't know that that defines us yet. Colorado Springs is defined by its mystery in the mountains. And I think the mystery is how we manage to be so relational instead of being transactional. Everybody around Colorado Springs in the business community knows that it is about who you know, where you're connected, and how you bring that together that makes success in the city. You can go to Denver and buy anything and not hardly know anybody and be connected, and you can make money there too. There's nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what we are relationally is just, it's amazing. All in the mountains, man, it doesn't get any better than what we have here.
It's so funny that you brought that up because we were literally talking to CB about that exact same thing
Mhm.
right before you walked in about that relationship versus transactional piece to Colorado Springs. It's so special here, especially once you start to build your community here. And I thought, because Andrew, who founded the show, I mean, he got his name out there so quickly by just hustling and going to all these networking events and putting himself out there. A kid from Kansas City essentially made a name for himself in 6 months and everybody knew him. When I moved back
Good
to
job,
Colorado
Andrew.
Springs in 2019,
Yeah.
everybody knew him. I had a big festival I put on for, 5-6 years at that point, and less people knew me than him in the business community.
Right.
He was a known person because he just hustled and just provided so much value. And he was doing 5 episodes a week at that point, which is nuts, by the way. I don't know how the heck you did that. Yeah.
It is insane. And you get double booked and you have to get creative around it, or you roll up late like the event even today. But listen, it is that whole relational piece that makes this city special.
Mhm.
This is what made me come back after being in another state. I just thought, I can't get away from the sense of connectedness. And I missed it so much. I had to come back to it. And I think that many people do too. We have to make money because it has become expensive to live in Colorado and in Springs.
Mhm.
And so let's just rise together. Let's just make what we can make together. Let's do the things where lots of people are known as connectors, known as bringing value, known as bringing help.
I wanted to bring up one thing, just randomly that came up when we were talking about things about downtown, especially to your question.
Mm-hmm.
We did a roundtable 2 months ago with Brother Luck and Chelsea from the Downtown Partnership.
Yes.
And Brother Luck mentioned that if we could build anything downtown,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a convention center that he thinks would be the most valuable thing for us, because we don't
Agreed.
have something to activate professionals to come down here and spend a long time down here, besides maybe a one-off event or something like that, but not a big convention center that really activates the city on that scale, because they don't get that kind of, like, most big business or big downtowns rather, or downtowns are in secondary cities, they get that secondary traffic of people
Right.
who are in town for a conference, versus us. Like, we're only, if we want to drive downtown, or the typical tourists who come year round. But
Right.
we don't have that third wave of people coming into our businesses. So we have to get creative about the things we do, like the vendor takeover, which we'll talk about here in a sec.